For this month in EnviroTube, we've gone to the Blue Mountains from Sydney to talk to Megan Halcroft. Megan is an expert on Austroplebia, a stingless social bee that doesn't occur in Sydney, but it lives further north. Austroplebia are different but similar to Tetragonula, but they don't like the cold temperatures. Megan's got them set up with special heat pads, and we're going to really have a look at what happens inside that hive.
Austroplebia, they really won't start to forage unless it's 20 degrees. That's got to be warm in their hive.
Right.
So I have them on warm mats.
Excellent.
So that they warm up in the morning, and by the time the ambient temperature is 20 degrees, the inside of the hive is 20 degrees as well, so they can get out. Otherwise it can take up to 3 hours for the inside of the colony, inside of the hive, to be warm enough to... No, not at all.
This heating pad, where did you get it, Megan?
I got it online.
I can see that this is a more horticultural, like propagation heating benchy thing.
That's right. So I've got a program so that it comes on at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and turns off at about 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's now close to 12. It's still warmer in here than it was outside. So if today became a nice winter day where it's over 20 degrees, which we have here,
yeah.
They'll be warm enough and they'll at least be able to start cleaning. The Austroplebia actually close up their entrance completely so that there's less airflow, cold airflow into the colony, but also they don't have to defend the hive then. They've closed it off, nothing can come in. So they're actually very conservative with their energy. They don't do anything unless it's absolutely necessary. And so, and they won't pull that down until they're pretty sure it's warm enough for them to bother going out. Only heat them enough to get them active in the morning, then they're not reliant on that heat source. So if it does fail, they're not going to die. I'll just see if I can see the queen. Sorry, it's a bit
they gunk
thick
it
here.
up.
They gunk it up because there's a crack there, and they
don't like that.
yeah. I can open it up.
No, I think
they won't mind.
Yeah, but won't they all try and fly away?
No, they're not like Tetragonula.
Right. Well, I think this is really interesting, being able to see an Austroplebia hive like this. Like, most people are never going to see a hive like
that's
this.
right. And I mean, I use this just for teaching, and like I'll take it.
Now, you do workshops, don't you? If someone wanted to find one of your workshops and they were in Sydney, would they just Google...
Bees business?
Bees business. Anyone who's interested in solitary bees or in Austroplebia or Tetragonula for that matter should look up bees business and attend one of your seminars.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Well, they're actually going to see what I'm seeing now, a unique and at the moment, unfortunately, a very rare sight. Do you want to describe what potentially we're looking at?
This is the brood, and unlike Tetragonula, they don't make comb, they don't make a spiral comb. Austroplebia naturally occur in areas, they inhabit small trees with small cavities or trees with large branches with cavities within them. So the brood can then grow to fill the space of the small cavity. So you can have a brood that is only about 2 inches across, but it could be 6 metres long.
So no queen at the moment?
She's probably a bit cold. She'll be in there.
Now these empty ones here, is that waiting for an egg?
Yeah, they're waiting. They're prepared so that they'll provision those. They have to call the queen over and say, come on, we've prepared this. And then she'll taste the provisions, and that's part of her diet. She actually eats some of the provisions, and then they'll taunt her many times, and then she'll eventually lay an egg, and then they'll seal that up. And it's just done one at a time.
There's the queen.
Okay, here we have over here.
Where my finger is.
She might come up. She's on your left-hand side, Howard.
Yeah.
She's probably wondering why it's so cold suddenly.
She's burrowing down. Here, she's coming out again.
Here she comes.
She's the big one.
The big fat one.
Just
so it's behind, probably behind. She's at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many bees are in here? Doesn't look like there's that many.
There would probably be only maybe 2,000 or 3,000. It looks really as if there's not many there.
But they're all hiding inside.
They'll all be
there.
right inside.
Is this a small hive, or they just don't have?
This is a small colony, yeah.
Is it going to be a big colony, or is it?
If I took it up to Queensland, it'd fill that up. It would fill it, and the brood would probably get to twice as big, and it would fill it up with stores. But because it's in the Sydney region, they don't get to forage as many hours. Warmth of the day is shorter, and they also don't get to forage all year round. So in winter, they just can't get out. The Ostroplebia, unless they're using the space, they don't fill it with anything. So these are empty honey pots, but they've been harvested. So this is why they don't do well down here. They've had pretty good stores, but we've still got another couple of months of winter. And these are empty. And I've actually lost a few colonies through starvation, but they always have so much pollen. They're a little bit crazy that way. They collect a lot of pollen.
More than they need.
More than they need.
They should concentrate more on the honey. Are there any queen cell eggs here?
There probably are in amongst quite deep down. They do produce queens all year round. Unlike Tetragonula, they don't have the queens placed around the edge. They just put them willy-nilly.
Is this a more primitive bee than Tetragonula?
There's a lot of debate about that, whether it's more primitive or whether it's actually more adapted to other areas. So this is the brood, and unlike Tetragonula, they don't make a spiral comb. So that's the pollen.
Pollen?
Yep.
Now I really like the shape. They're like little urns.
Yeah, they are. This is yellow, bright yellow, so it's the pollen colour, and this is honey colour. And do you want me to? We can just do that.
Do you ever harvest the honey?
No, not down here. True. People say to me, "Oh, can I buy one of them?" No, absolutely not.
Thanks, Megan. That was really good.